champagne or rum, achieve success with Global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
That to fix my non-moving graphic. Welcome. You're waiting only a few minutes this time around. Glad you're here. So, thank you. Someone messaged me earlier saying that a few minutes ago. I said, why do you do this in minutes? I like the first stuff. I thought I answered nicely. And I guess I thought I keep the truth. Simple answer is, I guess,
Hello?
How you doing, Nikki?
Hello?
How you doing? How are you?
Hi, Annie. I hear you saying my name, but that is all. It's a very distorted connection. It's the sound is very staticky. Am I the only one experiencing that?
No, it's absolutely correct.
Okay. Yes, you sound like you are in like an electric field.
He sounds like he's underwater drowning.
Yes, with an electric wire.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it
that's even better.
my fan that's what upsetting you?
He should be screaming in pain.
No, I never scream in pain, Michael. I don't feel pain that much. I don't entertain pain, so I don't, Anyway, is that better?
He's putting on a brave face. That's what he's doing.
I don't put on the brave face when I feel pain, Michael. I run to my wife very quickly because she's a nurse. So I'm like, do something. And she's
Isn't
like,
that the truth? Isn't that the
she
truth?
says, are you bleeding? I'm like, no. And she's like, go away then. I'm not interested. She does tissue viability, so she does blood and guts and that sort of stuff. That's her thing. Anyway, look, say I want to entertain my friends. I want to inform my friends. I want to educate my friends sometimes. And many of my topics are based on what I'm learning. So today's no different, my friend. Today's another one of those days. Hopefully, you can hear me clearly. If you can't, what can I say? Look, I'm so sorry. Cyrus, I see you. Michael, oh no, not William. I see you as well. So glad you're here, William. How you doing? Every day I think of William. I really do, because his
The
conference is
sound
coming.
is much better. And
Excellent.
hello, everyone. Hello, Michael. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Okay,
Nikki.
I've moved you from my fan. So my fan was probably what was upsetting everyone. So
Oh, goodness, well, thank you.
again, this is England. Having one of our 3 hot days. They call it a heat
Yeah,
wave.
I'm so surprised you even mentioned the word fan. I mean, I'm like, is this guy an African or what?
Summer. It's summer
I
here, so that's
am disappointed.
it's summer. You're lucky they'll start complaining soon. But then it start raining tomorrow, I'm sure.
Africans don't need a fan in summer in England. I just don't get that. That's just, where are you? Really?
I've got this office that's just extremely hot. If I go downstairs, it's probably cool. But upstairs, my house is hot. My room, because the door's always shut, and I got all this equipment going on. I can
So the
literally
sun is coming through the window.
No, there's no sun anymore. It's evening. What, 10 to 7, right? So it's evening.
Oh, so the
So
heat is just rising up and collecting in your room.
yeah, something like that. My window's open as well. But
Oh,
let's not worry about that. Joshua, the legend Joshua Lee. Wow, Joshua, you my event. I'm so grateful you're here, my friend. Good to see you. So Joshua does his live events. I think he's got his own platform, his own live event platform. But do connect with him and do go along to his events. They're always fun. Yeah, and I've forgotten his friend's name now. The one is always Tapas is the one he's always haranguing. That's Joshua for you, right? Thank you so much for joining us, Adrian. Yes, I sound like I'm drowning. And in this a life preserver, I do. You know, I've got a nurse who does all that, but I say she's not very attentive if I'm not bleeding to death. So we try. I don't know. No, I could. I don't want to restart my device because it means you have to listen to Michael talk for 2 minutes. Michael, do you want to talk for 2 minutes? Michael, yes, no. Anyway, I think you're gonna have to start doing your own events, Michael.
2 minutes. I'll
Yeah.
try. I'll
Are
try.
you gonna talk about your birthday?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. That's for sure. Well,
Sarah says
well, fellas, this is what
it's
happened on my
adorable.
birthday. You know, I woke up in the morning.
You're
I did
entertaining me. I'm
I
going.
did
I have
my
to
massaging, which is very typical of me. I thought I was gonna do about 30 minutes, but I ended up doing about an hour. Why do I do my massaging? Because I'm very intentional with respect to um, the DVT that I had on my both my legs, which were swollen, and the DVT is now gone. But then you've got all the post DVT stuff that you got to deal with, varicose veins, what do you call it, blood circulation, which just comes all crappy, and it basically seems like as if when during the DVT, it's like a bunch of aliens came in and they were just, you know, going at it and just running roughshod in my legs, just changing the entire furniture, just like a war zone, basically just doing that. And once my blood cells, especially the healthy ones, defeated all the DVT, what do you call it, interlopers, and got them out. Well, it's time for cleanup now. And geez, what a mess they had made. A complete and utter mess. So that's why when you actually take a look at a person who's got DVT and is recovered from that, their legs and their muscles look totally different from what they used to look like when they were nice and healthy. It, there's been a total rearrangement in the furniture, rearrangement in the architecture, and now you got to get that back to the way it was before. The very good thing about the human body is that it can heal itself so long as you give it the right nutrients and the right, and you have to also invite the right frequencies into your body in order to get that healing to come through into yourself. You have to be intentional about it and you have to manage it all the time, and you have to be persistent, uh, kind of like even resilient. It's just like you're going to war against the DVT. You're persistent and you're resilient, and you're using all sorts of tools to actually conduct the war and basically get rid of these interlopers because they were running roughshod and they were creating a lot of pain for you and the rest of your system to the extent that they could actually take your life if you're not careful. And that is also the truth. It still continues to do, even if you have post GVT. And one blood clot can still make its way all the way up into your heart or into your brain and take you out. So you got to be vigilant and absolutely and utterly cognizant of the fact that you are in a war for the rest of your life now. For the rest of your life, you're going to be in this condition and you're going to have to take the necessary precautions in order to be able to not only reverse what has been done, bring yourself back to the original condition, but do it intentionally and lovingly. You really have to end up loving yourself absolutely to the point of, well, it doesn't matter whether your girlfriend is there or not, just, you know, she becomes second to the love that you've got for yourself. Even your children, they become second to the love that you've got for yourself. Why is that so important? It is so important because if you do not love yourself and maintain yourself, then you will not be there for them. in the future, in the near future, you disappear. And then where would that leave them? That is why it is a must. It is a must. You love yourself
Michael,
utterly and
your 2 minutes
absolutely.
is up. Your 2 minutes is up, Michae.
Yeah,
You
here
have
goes
to
my
do
two
your own
minutes.
show.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you for entertaining our friends whilst I
No,
was.
it was your idea, so
Yeah, no, I was listening to you on YouTube. I'm thinking, what? He's talking genius. Vanessa,
What? I'm on
welcome.
YouTube. When the heck was I on YouTube?
You're on YouTube. You're on Facebook. What do you mean? Because I streamed this show to everywhere. Vanessa, welcome. So I'm meeting you tomorrow. I'm well aware. So I will send you the link later on. I will sit down, like I always after my next event. So I'll try and do it today for sure. So I look forward to finding out who you are, your genius, and finding out what opportunities we can create or take advantage of. I know Dr. Melissa Houston is here as well. Friends, whoever's here, drop us a comment, say hello. The comments are not arriving on my StreamYard just yet, but they are on my LinkedIn, so I can see most people there. Cyrus, and I like your comments. It's adorable. It's adorable. Michael thinks we get the sunshine here in the UK. We did for 3 days, Cyrus. 3 days to start already, right? So this is it. So let's not complain too much. Michael, we're having an interesting conversation today, my friend. Of course,
Fantastic.
this issue of faith. I think I'm learning about it, so I want to share what I've learned, and I want to see how it fits with what other people know, think, and do. Right?
Take it
Yeah. So,
away. Take it away.
so the question I've asked is, what does it mean to have faith in achieving your bold idea? That's what this room, what if is based on that concept, that way of thinking. What if we did? But humanity is plagued with doubt, self-doubt, fear, lack. So we think, what if I fail? What if I don't do? What if it goes wrong? What if everything goes pear-shaped? What if I lose money? What if I lose time? What if they laugh at me? So that the point of this room is to turn that whole line of thinking on its head. And think instead, what if I succeed? What if I create a solution the world needs? What if I'm that person to create genius? Yeah, by believing in yourself and creating that solution that the world needs. I mentioned the person asked me earlier, why do I do what I do? So part of my answer was, I like to find people who create unique solutions. Your bold idea could be your unique solution that the world needs, whatever that may be, right? So I think I want to believe we'll have a defined gift, or a gift of purpose. Thankfully, Michael believes the same thing, so we can say at least that we can share on the level playing field on that. But I guess there is this reality, my friends, that people fear. Think about it. Now, how many times do we have big ideas, good ideas, great ideas, and then we never do? Why don't we do? It's a question, right? I mean, if you truly knew that you would succeed, if you put that idea into practice, would you do it or would you let it go? Think about it, really. I guess I believe when we have faith, true faith, genuine faith, then we tend to push on and do what we have to do. Now that's how people create genius, right? That's how people create things. It's not just when I say genius, everything's genius if you look at it. Look again. I will say, look around you. Everything around you was created by someone. Someone invented a pen, someone invented my vape machine, the microphone, the computer, the fan that's annoying people. You know, someone even invented headphones. I'm saying all that everything that we have around us was someone's dream one day, was someone's vision. And now we have those things in front of us. Yeah. We can be those people, my friends. It's not we can be, we are those people. You know, we are gifted beyond belief, beyond thoughts, right? Yeah, because truly we are. Now, Vanessa, look, I say, you know, the pleasure is always mine, but I'm excited to meet you tomorrow. I can't wait. You know, exactly, Adrian. This is my point. You know, it's funny how what ifs are always negative. What if we fail? Rather than say, what if we succeed? Yeah, maybe part of the issue, Adrian, is trying to work out what success looks like. You know, and again, there's so much that goes on in our brains, in our heads, in our souls. You know, there's deeper than just our thinking. It's our feelings. It's our way of being. But some people are petrified of actually succeeding. The fear of success is what holds many people back. Not most people, many people back. You know, and they think they want success, so when they realize what that means, success, what that means, oh, you're gonna have money. What that means, you're gonna have attention on you. That means you're gonna be famous. You're gonna be well known. Some people don't think they run away from all of that. They run away from themselves and their success. You know, but I'm sure one day I will have a conversation. What is success? But I totally agree, Adrian. We need to start thinking: what if we do achieve great things? What if we do, you know, create something that the world really needs? Wow. Wouldn't that be amazing? Nikki, welcome back. We lost you for a second. Glad you're back. How are you, Nikki?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, great. Yes, yes, yes. I'm fine, thank you. I'm well. Um, I'm actually, I'm actually in the middle of live trading, so I'm better off listening right now.
Okay. It's right. You're here. That's the important thing, right? Of course, if you want to say something, just speak up.
But so I do want to go ahead and comment. First of all, hi everyone. I do want to comment. You said like, what if? Like usually the what ifs are negative. So basically, our what ifs are normally fear driven, right? Subconsciously, there's something going on that makes us think of the downside of our what ifs versus the upside. Like, what if I don't get that promotion? Then what am I going to do? Well, what if you do get the promotion? What are you going to do? What if I don't sell 1,000 books? It's okay, but what if you do sell 1,000 books? What if no one signs my email list? What if no one signs up for my email list? What if everybody that you ask signs up for your email list? What if none of my friends support my business? What if 5 of your friends support your business? What space? I think our what ifs really depends on what space we're living in. What space do we occupy a majority of the time? And if we're not able to occupy the glasses half full space more than not, then which shift do we need to make in our environment to create a safe space for ourselves to occupy in the space of the glasses half full and not half empty?
So that's it. I agree with you entirely. You know, it's a human condition that we tend to think that negative thought. So I think I laughed. I guess I think you mentioned something in there. It's say we can achieve anything, but it is that thinking that stops us even trying. Look, I'm no better than most people, than anyone. To be fair, that's right. I was going to say most people. Well, welcome, superstar Lisa. I'm so glad you're here. You're late to the party. How are you late to the party? You're here. We're still here, so you can't be late, right? It gives me joy to know you're here. You're gonna have to watch today, superstar Lisa, because I've got a video to show sometime to get across what I'm learning about this thing called faith. And so I think when you say it's a space we occupy, Nikki, I guess that space also includes maybe what occupies space in our heads, in our hearts. It's a deep thing. It's I think it's deeper than just self-doubt, and then we throw it out. It's deeper than even lack of confidence. I think there's more to it. This is why I guess I'm doing this topic today. It's almost a case of who are we really?
Yes. Or who we need at the moment. Because sometimes we're just having a moment. It's not the totality of our confidence. It's not the totality of our self belief, right? But then I think we have to ask, okay, so what factors are causing me to think negative in the negative aspect of what ifs? What's the challenge? What is the challenge? Or what's at stake?
And I think it's all part of the picture. Cyrus, I'm with you. What if it goes right? You see, I think there's partly. I think partly is the answer to what you're saying, or an extension of what you're saying, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
I think because if it goes right, if we're successful, I think it dawns on us halfway down the road. Maybe in our thinking, we suddenly realize if I were to succeed and do, then I have to do it again and again, and it never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Success is not a one-shot thing. We do one thing and that's it, and then we sit down and relax. Now, success normally means we become people who do and succeed and achieve. One goal leads to the next is what I'm trying to say in a simple kind of way, right? And that's how life really goes. So you achieve something. As soon as you get there, you might feel joy for a little bit, but then the next thing starts straight away. The next goal starts. And so you go. I mean, that's how people who create genius, people, that's how they tend to be, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a journey, and I mean, maybe maybe I can say it's a trajectory. Success is a trajectory. It's not a destination in that way. And
Yeah.
many people don't want to dedicate themselves to that journey. They want no, we like things easy. It'd be nice to
Right?
have one good idea, make a million or two or 10 or 100, and then sit down and say, right, almost as if that's not going to bring us another problem. And again, I think if you look at lottery winners, the ones we love to bash so much, right? They win the lottery, they think, oh, I've got the millions I wanted. And then they don't realize that their troubles have only just started. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Their journey to be rich people suddenly are taking a whole different form. And after that, then have to be different people to make sure they don't waste money and lose everything. But very few actually rise to the occasion. That's why many go bankrupt within years. Vanessa, I see you. Faith over fear. Yes, for sure. This question of what is faith? What is faith? Now, let's talk about it. So I think faith. Most of us think we have faith, right? I think faith, it can be many things. So I'd love to know what it is for you, Nikki, and for you, Michael. So of course, faith can be optimism. So we have a positive attitude towards what we're trying to do, right? And we think we think we can do it. We like to think we can do it. And of course we know we have to be persistent and we have to be willing to act despite uncertainty because we never know what's coming down the road. I think faith can also mean trusting ourselves. If we don't trust ourselves, then we don't tend to do. We're crippled by all sorts of things, procrastination, might call it fear. But we have to believe that we can do this and we can follow the process. It doesn't mean we have to do it ourselves alone, in other words. It doesn't mean that we can't seek support. But unless we believe in ourselves, most of our ideas don't get off the ground. And I think that's where many of us get stuck, right? Of course, I think we have to be open to learning and adapting along the way. This is a whole lot of thinking, right? This is a whole lot of different things along this thing called faith. Of course, some will say you need to be spiritual. Religious is what I'm looking for, right? Spiritual, yes, for sure. Do we have to be religious? I don't know. So I'd love to know what you and Michael think. So there's so many different components of faith. I guess my thinking today is that there's a way to develop that faith. That way is not blind faith. Blind faith is, I don't know. Okay, no. Hopefully, we'll come to what blind faith is because it is faith and just choosing to believe we can. That the foundation of faith is what is that's my understanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk reality. Let's talk reality. The Nikki and Michael, so you two do great things. If anyone wants to join us in the studio, you're welcome. The link is in the comments. So do go to the event page. The link is there. If you want to send you the link to your DMs, let me know. Put it in the comments here. Send the link, please. DM the link to you. Okay. Fine. And if you're here, please comment. So say something. Say hello. And also, if you're on my YouTube, like today's video, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and watch other videos. And I need to watch ours. I need subscribers, right? Nikki, are you on my YouTube? I'm sure you're not. I don't think you are.
No, I don't believe I am.
Are you a YouTube person?
I am a
Okay.
YouTube person.
I should share the link with you, and hopefully, you should. Well, I suppose another question: do you have a YouTube channel yourself?
I do have a YouTube channel. It's not active.
Okay. Well, again, if you send me your channel, if you send me the link to your channel, I will happily do. I'll engage. Like I said, I will subscribe. I'll watch other videos, and I normally comment that without doing emojis. So let's not worry about that for now, right? So, Michael, Nikki, what is your take on faith? What does faith to achieve your bold idea, faith to do amazing things really mean to you?
Would you like to go ahead, Nikki?
Sure. To me, that faith is being clear about what my desired results are, what I'm aiming for, and doing the work. Trusting the process and trusting God in my process. Doing the work. Not sitting down, twiddling my thumbs, saying, I want this to happen and waiting for it to happen, through osmosis or something. But no, taking the actions that are necessary for it to even begin to happen. Planting seeds so that I can reap a harvest.
I like the planting the seeds mentality. Now, for what we do today is what's going to reap, our benefits tomorrow, right? And if we don't do anything today, guess what? Nothing happens tomorrow. Strange that. So again, a lot of people don't. They don't get scared by that idea. And Michael, now, please tell us what does faith to achieve your broad idea mean to you?
Blind faith is what you alluded to earlier, and it is literally blind faith because if you're in the darkness, complete and utter darkness, I know it's kind of weird when I say this. Imagine yourself in that kind of condition, and you have to traverse something. You have to, you're conscious, but you have no idea where you are. Your eyes are open. Still have no idea where you are. You're in complete darkness, and you have to move around, but you've no idea where you're gonna move around to.
You have to speak louder,
But
Michael.
you have no idea where you're gonna move around to. You have no idea what you're gonna do in order to be able to move around. So every morning that you get up, well, before you even get up, you wake you wake yourself up, you open your eyes, and why do you do this? Because you can. And then you sit up, and why do you do this? And it's because you can. You pull your legs to the side of the bed on the other side, and you put your feet down. Why you do this is because you can. But what drove you to do all these things? And what's going to drive you to continue doing the activities that you need to do in the morning in order to get yourself to wherever you need to go to do what you need to do, etc., etc.? Faith. You have faith in yourself. Why do you do it? Because you can. That explains your faith. You can. And that is what you need to understand you have already within you. And
I
you've
love
learned this from the very beginning when you were a baby, you were a toddler, when you were growing up, when you got out of your mom's stomach, and then you evolved into the person that you are today. Right from the very beginning, you had faith in yourself. That is what faith means to me. I'm sorry
I
for
really
interrupting you.
love
Go ahead.
that. I really love that.
And ultimately, become someone that not only survives the storm, but also dances in the rain. In order to do that, you need faith. I put that out in the comments section, but there's a lot more to it. And every morning, as you get up, or even when you go to bed, if you think of these things or the affirmations indicated in the comments, uh, then in your subconscious, you will build character that allows you to move forward in blind faith so that you can get up in the morning and do what you need to get done because you've gone through the process of getting yourself there mentally. You've practiced it over and over and over again, and you have visualized it in your head, and you know which direction you're headed and how you're going to get there, etc., etc., etc. You have blind faith. waking up, and so on and so forth. To the point that these things become automatic at some point. And when they become automatic, then you start receiving the gifts of your automatic abilities through the universe. The universe actually gives it to you for being studious and also being trying to make yourself better for the sake of the universe. That's pretty much what I'm basically aspiring to let you know that you can. If you improve yourself for the sake of the universe will gift you with all its gifts, so long as you are still on that right path, which is a righteous path. It is not a wrong path, but it's a righteous path for everyone, not only just for yourself. Yeah, that's about it, Annie. Thank you.
That is deep, my friend. It's I guess it goes to show it's not just our thinking. I think there is a divine element which I'm happy to accept. Again, I think it's a learning for me. So when you say the universe gives us what we want, I guess that's another way of saying we can attract what we want, what we need at the right time. I guess now the question, Michael, and the question, Nikki, is right. Why do many not have faith? Why do many not have blind faith? Why do many not have the action taking mentality, Nikki, that you mentioned? Cyrus, I see what you say. Cyrus says, ever since I started practicing, ever since you started doing, Cyrus, you've become luckier. Right? I think that's what Michael was alluding to, right? The universe will give us what we want in the end. Tracy, I see you as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stopped driving. So thank you so much for joining us. So Michael and Nikki, why do so many fall? Again, when I say so many, I'm talking about us. Us three of us on stage, and those in the audience. You know, we all have big ideas. We've all had great ideas. We've done nothing with them. Yes, we're capable of having the faith that Michael talks about, I'm sure. We're capable of taking actions, as Nikki says. And sometimes, we start on the journey. There's a gush of wind, and then it will blown off course. It's a part of the reason I'm addressing this topic is I've got big ideas. I want to do big things. So I'm planning. I told you, Michael. I remember when you said to me, "What are you doing?" And I said to you, "Here's what I want to do between now and September." So when I say I want, there's books to write, there's books to publish. No, that's not just day job books. I'm talking about anthology books for my friends, for my clients, for my clients, and also I want to take these events to another level. I want to take these events to to paid events, and to in-person events. So in real life events. See, but I'm well aware that, like many other good ideas I've had, I risk falling off the wagon. I risk time passing and suddenly be like, oh, it's September already. I didn't do any of those things I said I was going to do. I think we're all guilty of this. So my question to Nikki and Michael is, what is it? And also you in the audience, of course, you're welcome to comment. You're welcome to share your ideas, right? What is it that makes us fall off? What is it that makes us lose faith? What is it that gets in the way? That stops us being faithful to ourselves. Nikki, Michael, what are you thinking?
Go ahead, Nikki.
I don't know if Nikki's there. So,
Maybe, maybe thoughts of you're not good enough. Maybe thoughts of you're not deserving. Maybe thoughts of people won't receive you after said accomplishment. Maybe not knowing what to do if the goal is accomplished. Basically, it's the fear of the unknown and the perceived knowns.
I like the idea of the perceived knowns. Like, who was it? One of the Americans said the other yesteryear, the known knowns and then on the known unknowns and the unknowns unknowns, right? There's so many of them. It would definitely our perception of what it is, who we are, and what's coming is at the heart of having faith, right? It's a projection into the future. Almost like we're seeing into the future, and I don't know. I think I'm learning that it's a choice we make whether to push on or not push on. So I think I'm trying to find the conditions under which we do push on. But I hear you loud and clear, Nikki. All the things we've said, self doubt. If you don't think whether you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can't, then you're not going to do it, all right? But if you think you are, if you feel you are, if you believe you are, then you might move on to the next step. Yeah, again, I think there's something deeper. No, Nikki, I hear you, but I always feel like there's something deeper, right? So a lot of people think they believe they believe and they go for it, right? But I think again, I'm guilty of this. I can always look back and think that was half-hearted. I thought I was giving it everything. I really thought I was, but I didn't really have it all to give it 100%. To give it every that to do if you have to to achieve great things, you have to give even more than 100%, right? But I think many of us don't put everything in. We don't go all in. Yes, we may start. Yes, we may think we want to do it. Now, so Michael, help me fill in the gap.
Okay. Um, Translating faith into tangible activity is difficult.
Come back to being loud again, please. Come nearer your phone.
Translating faith into tangible activity is difficult. You typically want to properly lay out a plan, execute the plan, and see the results that it provides for you, and you want them to be perfect. That's how humans want to operate. Unfortunately, if a storm comes your way, a storm is usually something that blindsides you. You didn't see it coming. And how'd you get through it? You have no plan. You have no plans. You didn't pre-plan for it. So you live it. And you have faith that you will get through it. Through a lot of things that you try, probably even at the same, at one go, try this, try that, so on. It's hectic. You have you humans just have no way of just saying, okay, we're going to be able to go through it by doing this, by doing that, and so on and so forth. But you do it as the storm comes through, as the situation arises, but you have no time for planning for it. You just get through it the best way you possibly can. And once you're done getting through that, the rain comes along. But you can manage that because it's softer. It's something that you can handle. You know how to to manage it and dance with it and plan for it. You already did this already in your mind. You take out your umbrella, you take out your coat, and you keep yourself dry. You've already planned for this. You go under a shed, whatever it is that you need, you have in terms of in your planning tool in order to be able to do that. That is also allows you to have that faith as well. But I think the biggest thing is knowing that and understanding it, and then translating it into something, into a tangible activity, and understanding that it is a tangible activity that you have conducted, and that will bring you what you definitely do aspire to get and desire. But you need that you need to know the differences between those two conditions, which believe there are only two conditions. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Annie. There may be more than one, but as far as I can tell, there are only two conditions.
What are the two conditions?
The two conditions are this: you're in a storm, you're going to be blind, you're going to be blindsided. You don't know what's coming at you. You
Mm,
just live. The other
mm,
condition is you plan. You know what steps and tasks you're going to take in order
yeah,
to accomplish what you need to accomplish, and you have faith in those activities and tasks to get you where you need to go. It's automatic. So those
yeah.
are the two ways of living, and those are the two conditions in which I'm speaking of. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah,
No,
if I'm
no,
wrong.
no, no. I don't think there's no wrong answer on this one. I accept there's no wrong answer. They say now this is something that all of, even the most successful, there's always something that they said no to. I mean, if you think about it, all of us have said no to something. Some have turned out better than we ever expected. Even though it's not our thing anymore. Are you with me?
Hmm.
Opportunities have passed us by, and some things we've said yes to ourselves in our minds. Maybe it's even so in some of our actions, but we just haven't followed through. So there's no
Hmm.
right and wrong answer. I say, no, this is one of those I'm actually genuinely trying to learn, and
Hmm.
I think we can all learn.
Yeah,
I don't say that lightly.
it's learning that we can do this via faith. I mean, that's why you bring about a good topic here, because I don't think a whole lot of us understand this and understand the gravity of faith and what it can actually do and translate us to do.
That
But we
that
need
that
to
might
talk
very
about
well.
it, discuss it, and
Yes,
and
yes,
and everybody that has had experience of it and through it can tell us about their experiences. I mean, this requires everybody coming in and joining in and inputting into this conversation so that we can cumulatively access the treasure trove of human intelligence around faith, which there is. And I'm
mm,
glad that you brought it up because it's there, it exists. And there are many things that people can tell us about faith. This is just a small anecdote of it,
yeah, yeah. Look,
which we are bringing up right now. Hmm.
I agree with you. I think see, for certain parts of our challenge is that until we've done something amazing, until we've done a big idea, we don't have the experience to call on. And our bold idea tends to be, you know, the first time we've tried something so big. Tracy, I'll come to your point in a second, my friend. I'll come to your point. I think so. What Sarah says, faith is hoping and wishing to change the outcome in your favor before the event occurs. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, Sarah says that I know you're on stage. I guess now there's always that thought. Think from the end result. Work your way backwards. Right? You with me? No. Part of I don't know, whether it fits into anything we've said so far. Almost like live as if you've done it already. Is that blind faith? I mean, that's a real mindset way of being, right? And I think if you can see the results before you get there, like I say, if we know that we've done it already, if we truly believe that we can't fail, would we do that thing, whatever that thing is, that big idea, that bold idea, that thing that could transform our lives, transform humanity? Would we do it if we truly believe that we have succeeded already? We can't fail. It's nice. It's a sure win, no risk. Get on with it. Would we do more? I wonder. Tracy, I see what you're saying now. Say, what is that, Michael? Translating faith to physical activities are difficult. I think it is. I really think it is. It's not as easy as it sounds. Again, many of us have fallen prey to this. Many of us are guilty of not doing what we believe that we can do. I think Nikki said it earlier. Faith, it can be fleeting, right? It can be a fleeting thing. That we have it today, and suddenly, in a few hours, that thing is not. It's gone. It's not the faith that's gone. Everything's gone. The idea is gone. Our commitment to the idea is gone. Our willingness to take action is gone. Tracy says what we do resembles who we are and what we believe. Correct? Yes, for sure. Yeah. Still, let's hear from Dr. Leslie and Cyrus.
Okay.
Welcome on stage, my friends. Dr. Leslie.
Okay. Yeah.
You've done amazing things.
I.
You've written many books. You've done amazing things in life. You've built many great companies, right?
Okay.
What does faith really look like to you?
Mm, mm. I think I want to look at it. I see faith from the angle of spirituality. Then the FATE, I see it as physicality. But we have to look at it from both sides now. Most cases, faith. Sometimes I attach faith to like the topic here. What does it take to have faith to achieve your bold ideas? Sometimes I attach faith to attitude. And I attach it to attitude in the sense that I have faith in something that I want to do this. But the fact is that something inside of me is not making me to do it. Something is not making me to do it, to succeed, to turn it around. So what is that thing that is not making me to succeed, to turn it around? If actually you believe in what you do, you will connect your belief system to your faith and work with it, no matter how bold that idea is, no matter how audacious that idea is. How audacious that idea is. You have that. You see, for me, I see faith from this angle that when I need to do something, first thing is to have the belief. When I have the belief and I know what I want to do, it will be easier for me to connect my faith and also look onto the supreme, the highest power to make things work for me. But most cases, I think most cases, this is what I look at most cases. Most of us, we just have the faith that what we want to do will work. Have we forgotten that there's also the word I think it's in the scripture that says, faith without work is dead, work without faith is dead. So if I have faith, what am I putting in? What is my input in that thing that I want to achieve, or that thing that I want to, yeah, that I want to achieve? What are the things that I'm doing? What is my attitude towards success? What is my attitude toward progress? In the process of achieving something, how do I feel? What are the things that are in me that will make me to say, oh, okay, I want to make sure these things work out. So what do? I connect my faith with my belief system and also see how it can work for me. That's the way I look at it. So we need to, okay, let me give an instance. The first time I wanted to write a book, the first book I wrote, there are so many errors in the book. The first publication, so many errors. I took the book to someone who is a professor in literary studies in one of the university in Nigeria. When I gave him the book, the first thing he said, this is trash. He told me this is trash. So what are you writing? You think that is the way to write book? The moment he said that, I look at it. If I had not published that book, even with errors, the book wouldn't have gone, got to where it is today. I just have to take the bold step. I took the bold step. After writing the book, there were so many errors that they said disjointed sentences and all that, some of them. But the fact that I give to someone, okay, you edit this for me, and the person did editing, but the person is not a professional, he's not a professional editor. But I just took that with faith. So you know what I did? I went to publish two of the book. I took one to meet the man. I just want him just to look at it. He said he's not able to understand what I was writing. If if I don't believe in what if I don't believe in what I was doing, if I don't believe in that project, I would have just give up. But you know what? I left the state to another state to meet this man. I had to spend my hard-earned money, even without not having much money. Now, when I got to him, all I wanted him just to say, "You've done something right." All he just did was, "This is trash," and threw it away. What? I look at it and say, okay, because he's a professor, because because he's an authority in the subject. You know what I did? I pick up the book. It's, oh, I'm sorry that I have to do this, but you know, we don't do this we don't do this. This is trash. If you want to go and learn how to write. Ah, so that same day, I got to the park. I took a vehicle going to the state I came from. As I was in the vehicle, I was just thinking, so many things is running through my head, running through my head. Should I give up this project? Do you think this is for me? Do you think I can do this? Because I read engineering, but I am very good in writing and I love writing. But the fact is that I didn't write it to expectation, to that level. Ah, so I took the book, I got home. When I got to my destination, I sat down. I told myself something. I just sat down to tell myself, I can do this and I can write the best book in the world. And I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm doing. So I have to build up my belief system. So when I look at it, I say, okay, God, what do I do? I now remember, God, what do I do? I say, God, I connect my faith with my with my belief. So I went back again to write the book. So I just connect that, God, just give me the wisdom for me to write this book. And it just happened like that. After writing the book, I wrote the book again for another 4 days or so, 4 to 5 days, about 210 pages, 4 to 5 days or so. And it was fine. So I had to connect to an editor and the book came out and all that. That is one of, should I say that's the most successful book I have, which is When It Tears for a Nine For. When It Tears for a Nine For sold over 300,000 copies in 3 years. So so it has to do with your belief. how you believe, what do you believe? How is your belief system? Because when I want to have faith in God, if I want to have faith in what I'm doing, I need to believe in what I'm doing. And I learned this the from the end to the beginning, not from the beginning to the end. So before I start anything, I first of all predict the outcome or the result, which has to do with faith and belief. So the moment I take that task, I will ensure, I will ensure I'm able to achieve it. Now let me give you something, another one again. I did something, I invested fund in something. So I started creating how to put up a marketing system to sell the apps, to sell this so that I have a lot of users and all that. After creating a lot of landing page and all that, I did not connect landing page to those buttons there. I didn't connect it to where I want them to go, where I want them to, where I want to drive the traffic to. You'll not believe after 13 days, after having about looking at the dashboard, the landing page dashboard, after having about 13,000 people who have gone to check, nobody was able, I could not drive just one person to any page. And it was tough for me. It was really, really tough for me. After wasting funds, after investing so much, I just look at it, I say, God, what kind of thing is this? And I have less than after 13 days, I have just less than 12 days for so-called investors to come see what I was doing because they wanted to see something. They want to see traction before they will sit to negotiate with me. And I just look at it, I say, God, what do I do? What do I do? I have to go back again to go and work on all the pages. But when I was doing that, I was thinking of something. I said, after losing 13,000 people, do you think I'm able to get 13,000 people in 12 days? But there's something I did that day. That was the day I read a book from James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. I learned something from that book, As a Man Thinketh. In that book, there is this power of manifestation. You manifest, you think, you say something. You start from the realm. I don't know whether you call it from the spiritual realm or from the inner self or from the subconsciousness. Take it to the consciousness and bring it to the physical, then deep down in the spiritual and manifest it. Say, as a man thinketh, so is he. So whatever thing you speak, it establishes itself. So I now created something they call manifestation checklist. In that manifestation checklist, what did I do that night? I just had that faith. I just believe in God. I wrote it out that after 13 days, I lost these numbers of people. What do I do? I wrote the first day after the 13 days, day one, which is day 14. This is what I want, this is what I want. And I just sat down that day. I did the same thing. Work without faith is dead. I have to connect the work. I have to put myself to it. Put on my effort every day. The first day, I got close to about 100 or something or so. The second day, about 300 or so. The 22nd day, which is 22nd day, I got close to about 16,000. Just like that. Now, how? What happened? If I don't connect my belief system with my faith, there's no way it would have happened. So there are some audacious ideas you go there to put, and the truth is that you cannot just wake up one morning and have a belief system and connect with your faith. You need to grow that attitude. You need to grow that mindset. You need to be that person who can take the bold step, like what I read in that book, James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. Everything has to do with you, from your subconsciousness to your consciousness. It is the way you speak, that is the way you are. It is the way you think, that's the way that's how do I put it now? That's how it resonates your personality with your personality. So faith has to, they say faith is, oh, there's a substance that, I can't remember now. I can't remember that now, but faith, the way I see it, it has to do with belief system. Even when you don't believe in your God or you don't believe in what you do, and you cannot connect it to the Supreme Being, it's always difficult. So if your belief system is shaky, and you want to connect your faith with God. Though sometimes, yes, the Bible, even sometimes the scripture says that sometimes you may not have that belief system, but when you are able to connect and have that faith in God, things can work out for you. But it has to align, it has to connect, it has to connect. If you don't have that, I think it will be a bit difficult. But the fact that what I know from experience, your belief system must align to your faith and your faith to what exactly you're working on. I need to raise 10,000, or I need to get about 2,000 leads or 1,000 leads or 3 clients or 4 clients in a week. And I have that faith that before the end of the week, I can make 10 to 20 clients. I am not working towards it. It's difficult. It's really, really difficult. Okay, just like when they say faith is something that you, is it that how do I put it now? That's something you are not married, you are not meant to merit or something like that, something like that. The truth is that you have to work towards it. You work towards it. When you work towards it and have that faith in it, it will work. But faith without belief, without work, I don't know if that can happen. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's called a dream when you have faith without the work, right? It's called a wish. If I mean, faith without a plan is called a wish, right? It's that dream. I'm saying, you filled in many of the gaps. I think, Dr. Leslie. So we have to be prepared to do it rough, to do it almost anyhow, as long as we do it, whatever it is, right? So the bold idea is that they start to create it. Some in business we talk about minimum viable product. Doesn't mean that it hasn't got to work. It hasn't even got to be close to the plan that you have, the vision you have for the perfect solution. Right? As long as we do something towards that goal, towards that thing that we want to create. We're halfway there. So I think that resonates with me for sure. Of course, your point about you have to be willing to do the work. I agree. Of course, no, I think we can all agree. Tracy, like you said in the comments, Tracy says you have to have 3 things. You have to have determination, belief, and strength. Yes, Dr. Leslie, I think, went through all of those. In his $2 million share. That's my chance to welcome Queen Leah Garcia, our finance genius, the lady that helps you make money without risk. I know Leah well enough now. She has her wall of wealth with our guides that you can have, ebook that you can have free of charge. So do connect with her. I always say, if you can make money, spend the money, and still have the money, that's Queen Leah can. Then you're a genius, right?
Well,
From
I was believing about Dr. Leslie's. I was thinking that he's correct in saying that. I also make a connection with that, in saying that connecting your belief system with your faith invites the universe into collaboration with you.
oh,
So you bring it in
yeah.
and makes in collaboration, which makes allows you to manifest your goal.
Oh, yeah. No, look, I said, I think that resonates with me. That definitely I agree with. But you know what, Michael? You know what, everyone? Dr. Leslie said that the thing that I'm learning more and more these days, that faith is one part of it, but faith comes from, he said, do the work. That gives you experience, right? But more than that, doing the work, it helps you learn. I think that's the trick that everyone misses. To read, it's said to him that he read a book. I'm saying that this is where we get, we're not willing to learn. We're not willing to, we're not open to learning. Michael, I hear what you're saying, but I think we need to mix this belief, this, our mindset with that thing called Learning. Now that learning that's a missing ingredient for me, because that's what helps us really stay on track. But we don't think of that when we think of faith. We think of what we think of our thinking, which is right, which is maybe it's 98%, but that's, like I say, that 2% that's missing is the lack of learning about ourselves, learning about the universe, learning about our bold idea, our niche. That learning is just no. People don't do it. No, we crack on in belief, yes, but without the learning, we haven't got any solid foundation. That's what I take from you from your $2 million share, Dr. Leslie. But let's go to Cyrus. Cyrus, what's your take on our topic, my friend?
Hiya. Thanks for having me, and it's been such a lovely topic so far. Michael and Dr. Leslie and who else is on the stage? Sorry if I can't see your name on the stage.
Nikki.
Nafisa.
Nikki.
Yeah?
Nikki.
Yes, and Dr. Leslie. And yourself, Annie. Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. So I was going to say it's such a fascinating subject, and it's one of my favorite subjects. Just like Michael said, he was reading about it earlier, and I was reading about it earlier, and actually I was also writing about it earlier in my upcoming book. It is a difficult subject. It looks easy, but in reality, it's really, really difficult. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but I'm going to share with you what I know about it so far. Okay, I'm still learning. So, to imagine two race horses. So, and you're gonna bet on one of those horses, right? So everyone in that arena is going to be placing a bet on that horse. One of them will win, one of them will. So, but all of the fans in that arena, in that racetrack, all of the fans have the same faith. They want their own horse to win. Okay, that's how it works. Life is full of uncertainty. I'm not certain if I'm going to see tomorrow or not. And every day when I wake up, because body is a funny thing, isn't it? Every day that you wake up, you should consider yourself lucky. Why lucky? Because a lot of people didn't wake up this morning, right? So, so life is an organized chaos, right? So a certain set of rules creating an unlimited set of outcomes. That's how life works, mathematically speaking. So everyone's placing their bets on that horse. Who's going to win? You never know until the race is done, right? So another game that we played when we were children, we used to call it, we still call it the same thing, snakes and ladders, right? So you would roll the dice and you would make a few moves. I'm not sure if you guys played that game, snakes and ladders. So so everyone rolls the dice, but eventually there's going to be one winner. Okay, so so luck. Let's have a look at the definition of the luck. Luck is when you are so lucky, you get the numbers that you want, and you won't be stung by the snake, and you will go up the ladder, and then eventually you finish, right? So everyone believes that they're going to win, but only one person is going to win. So you have to fake that knowledge because you can't be sure, and that event hasn't happened yet. So faking that knowledge is what we call believing, right? So for people who aren't with any in this room, they have a feeling that any may be live right now, but we don't have to guess that. We don't have to have faith in any being live right now. We are in this live coverage. We don't have to have faith because we have something stronger. We have knowledge. Okay, we don't have to fake that knowledge. We have that knowledge. We are experiencing it. So one of the things that can actually act as counterbalancing that deficiency, knowledge deficiency, is practice and experience. When you practice a lot and you actually experiencing something, you don't find the need to believe in that thing. You're experiencing it and you're doing it actually. Right now, I don't have to have faith that I'm speaking in this event and have the pleasure of being with you guys. I am here with you guys. So, and it's like an invisible force that actually pushes humanity forward. Because if it wasn't for this fantastic phenomenon, life wouldn't, people wouldn't live. Life wouldn't go on as well as it is now. So, does it mean we have to blindly believe in lack of skills and lack of practice? No, it doesn't mean that. You have to put the work in, and you have to practice, and you have to experience, and then yes, of course, believe and have faith. Okay, so having faith should not substitute the need for exercise and need to practice and the need for experience. That's basically my way of avoiding wishful thinking, because that's a very dangerous thing on your way to success. And in my personal view, I could be right, could be wrong. Again, I'm only human. The best cure for just having to have faith is practicing. But yeah, I agree that having faith is also very, very important. Thank you.
No, thank you. I think as you're talking, Josh. Welcome, Josh. Glad you're here, my friend. How are you these days? Josh says you don't have to have faith to believe in you. You know, it's a weird one. I think it sounds like what you're saying. I think, Cyrus. We need faith, but no, faith alone is not the driver. There's other things that come with having with having faith. I said that you mentioned knowledge, you mentioned practice. Actually, and you mentioned luck. I think luck to me, the way I understood it was always that thing about luck is prep meeting opportunity, right? Preparation meeting opportunity. Again, I think it's doing the work that we need to do to back up our faith. That's my take. That's my take out there. That's my understanding. So welcome, Selena. So thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing? I muted you, so I should unmute you. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I love that hat. I do like that.
You don't love. You wouldn't. What's behind the hat?
I would never ask a lady what's behind the hat. It looks cool though. Okay, now talk to us. So this faith topic now, what is faith to you? What's the faith that we need to achieve our bold idea?
Our faith is the mover, anyway. Sorry, Adam. Faith is, like without faith, then for me, it's difficult to operate. It's so hard to do anything because if I don't have faith to believe in my creator, I wouldn't have faith for me to move on. Because for me, everything I did, even when I came into the UK at the airport, I just said, God, this is yours. I'm not going to worry about you're going to be interviewed because I have faith in you. Like you said to Abraham, leave your people and go. I will be with you. So I know you are with me. So whatever the circumstances, we are in it together. When I drove my first car in the UK, it's like there were so many cars around me and I was really like afraid. But I said, no, God, when you're like a hill start, I said, God, if anything happens, if I hit any other car, you will be responsible because I'm your child and I know you're directing my path. So, and I never did hit any car. I managed to do whatever I've asked God. It's like, actually, it's very good to be reminded. But I mean, I'm here where I am because God has been there with me. I've had faith in Him. And so, honestly, without faith, I wouldn't be here anyway. Because I had faith when He said, "You are already healed," when I was dying. And this was like, okay, when I accepted that, twice He healed me, 3 times He moved the needle. I mean, I'm here because I've got faith in God. And whatever I do, I just learn to say, I'm not going to have any grudge. I'll forgive anybody. I'll do whatever it takes for me to get where God wants me to be. He didn't create me, to live in poverty, in stress or whatever. I'm supposed to be happy, and I'm happy.
Yeah, so it's there's a spiritual element to everything. And I say, I'm learning to accept that. And like I say, you say God, I say the universe. So the gods
That's
that
fair
I'm
enough.
taught.
I mean,
Yeah,
I said the creator.
mm,
It's like some people call the creator, some people
yeah,
call God, so whatever you want to call, but that there's a higher
yeah,
power somewhere. So
for
yeah,
sure, for
fair
sure.
enough.
For sure. Look, Josh, I think I agree. I think I agree with you entirely. Having faith does not mean you sit around and do nothing and wait for faith to do all the work. Of course, like you were saying, like when you were talking now, I'm thinking that you're still the one that drove the car. You're still the one that does the things, right? Yes, God might be like might be guiding you, but we still have to be the one to take action. What's Tax Tuesday? Faith's number one. The rest follows. I don't know, Josh. Yes. Okay. Yes. Look, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a video in a second. I do see you, Cyrus. Are you on stage? I think you are on stage, right? What's Tax Tuesday? I have no idea. Does anyone know what Tax Tuesday is? If you do, please share. So Queen Leah says, "I always default back to the Bible. Faith is the substance of things
Think
hoped
of
for,
before.
evidence of things unseen."
Mm-hmm.
So now, Queen Leah, I agree with you. Boom, Joshua. It's really, you know, Josh is sharing some gems. Faith is so important. Let me show you. I wish I could say it's a quick video, about 5 minutes. So do bear with me. But this is where my day started today. This is where I guess I'm forming my understanding of faith. And please watch and then let me tell me what you think, my friends. Here it goes.
When you begin working toward the new goal, you're going to be looking outside of yourself for the resources that are required to get you there, and you're not going to find them. They will not be evident. They'll only come to you as you need them. And you have to have the faith and the understanding and the knowledge that everything you need is going to come as you need it. Well, there's only one problem in the entire world, and that's ignorance. Everywhere you go, all problems have as their foundation ignorance, simply not knowing. Now, the opposite of ignorance is knowledge. And understand that all the knowledge there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. The answer to our questions is already here. So I want you to look at this graphic now. Here you have the positive and the negative. You have the ignorance and the knowledge. Now I want you to imagine an individual that has set the objective, they've set the goal, and they're looking outside of themselves and they don't see what they need to get there. What's going to happen? Well, let's keep in mind that there's a power that's flowing into their consciousness. They can think anything they want, and they're thinking, I haven't got what I need to get there. And like that, doubt and worry come onto the screen of their consciousness. See, doubt and worry, it's a psychic disease. It's wrong thinking. But as we start to entertain doubt and as we start to worry about what's going to happen, we internalize those negative concepts. And they set up the only emotional state they can set up, which is fear. Fear is a very destructive emotion. Now, understand whatever's impressed must be expressed. And you have originated a negative concept in doubt or worry. You've turned that over to the emotional mind, which causes fear. That moves you into a physical state that is better known as anxiety. That's when the body is just not vibrating in harmony with law. Now, the anxiety is suppressed. People don't express anxiety, they suppress it. The suppression turns into depression, and the depression turns into dis-ease. Always hyphenate that word. Don't just say disease. It's dis-ease. It's a body that's not at ease. And the disease, of course, turns to disintegration. See, there's a basic law of life that says create or disintegrate. If you're not going ahead, you're going backwards. That is a very basic law of life, to create or disintegrate. Now, that's in everything. Now, how do we get away from this negative flow, from the doubt, the worry, the anxiety, the suppression, depression? See, depression is anger turned inwards. That's really what it is. Well, we have to go on to the other side. We have to move over to the positive polarity. And you get over there, and you'll see that understanding comes from knowledge. What do we want to understand? We want to understand the laws of our being. We want to understand that even though we can't see it, it's here and it's coming. If we stay in the right vibration, we'll attract it. But there's only one way to develop understanding, and that's through study. It's the one thing that most people don't want to do. Now, there's many forms of study, but if you want to win, you've got to study. So we want to understand that everything we require is going to be delivered to us exactly at the right time. And we start to build a positive picture of the good that we desire in our mind, and then we get emotionally involved with that positive picture. Do you know what that does? That sets up a vibration that's more or less called faith. Faith is the ability to see the invisible, to believe in the incredible, and that will permit us to receive what the masses call impossible. It's the polar opposite to fear. And you see, the faith comes through understanding. I'm not talking about blind faith. That isn't worth diddly. First little bump in the road, boom, the faith is gone. I'm talking about faith based on understanding. That's what moves mountains. So we're working with understanding. That gives us a positive picture. We see the good that we desire before it even gets here. And then you get emotionally involved with that. That sets up the emotion of faith. Now, the faith expresses itself on a physical level, not as anxiety, but as well-being. Well-being. Now, the well-being is expressed. Have you ever said to anybody, "Hi, how are you today?" And they look around and they say, "I'm really excited." They don't do that. You see it, it's expressed. When the person's in a good vibration, they express it. The expression turns to acceleration. They pick up speed. They attract more good things to them. And you know why? Because they're at ease. They're calm. James Allen said, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It's the result of long and patient effort in self-control. They're at ease. And that's what causes creation. And that's really what you're here for.
I tell you, I say that is, that's spiritual to me. Selena, I say that for sure, right? Queen Leah, I think, we're on the same wavelength on this one, my friend. Having faith, to move in acting and
Yeah, send me that little clip, please.
Yeah, I certainly will. I'll send it through WeTransfer, I think. It's a bit, I tried to do it one more time. So many things is
Sorry.
Oh no, start joking to death. So many things is said. We must create or disintegrate. And I love that. And I think that's the concept behind your bold idea, right? We must create. We must carry on creating. Michael referred to that earlier. This thing that we're doing must be big enough to scare us. It must be big enough to truly excite us and create that fear. To me, what I'm taking from that is knowing that now I know, learning about everything, learning about ourselves, learning about the thing we're working on. You and I talked about Williams Events, Selena, right? And I'm sure Williams Events is conference in Ghana. Yes, I want to go and speak there. Do I have faith in myself? Yes. Can I speak in public? Yes. Yeah. I believe I can. But the only way I'm going to truly believe,
You
and
are
then I'm
always speaking in public. Come on.
right. I said, but the only way I'm going to speak in front of 2,500 people is by doing the work. It's by learning, and and I'm
Yeah.
learning from my friends. That's why I brought this topic today as well. And I'm learning from my friends. I watch my friend Sandra. So she spoke. To publish a book. She made her book a bestseller recently, and then she went to go and do a speaking gig in front of hundreds, the first one ever, right? Now, so I'm learning from the work she did. The work she did. She had to go and keep practicing. She had to go see the venue and do rehearsals in the venue, because that's the only way that we know and really have that faith we're talking about. Is now Sarah's mentioned that we have to do to have the faith. I agree. We have to learn to do, and then learn more. Learn more about ourselves and how the universe works. Yeah, that's where the things that we talked about earlier, and the fact that the universe will give you what you want. God will give you what you want. But you have to
I get that.
understand how that works. Dr. Leslie,
Yeah.
please.
Okay. Okay, Annie, I love that video you played now. If you look at it, it started with two things. It started with ignorance and knowledge. Just like what I can't remember her name now, when she talked about going to UK is just fate and it's God. But the fact is this, whether we want to take it, whether we're coming directly or indirectly, we have to look at it from this place. He said he used the word faith, just like what the Bible said. Faith has to do with understanding,
Mm-hmm.
having understanding with wisdom. Then
Yes.
with wisdom, you have the faith. That wisdom, understanding, faith. The word understanding
That's
connects with what
knowledge.
you think. Yes, now it connects to the way you think. It has to connect the way you think. It is the way you think and the way you reason gives you that understanding of what you believe. See, there's nothing happen for nothing. You need to start from somewhere. Now, just like what she said, let's assume she just lives somewhere in a country and she just believed that one day I'm going to go to UK and I'm not doing anything. It will never come to pass. That's ignorance. That's purely ignorance. There's something you need to practice. There's something you need to experience, like what Cyrus said. Because when you practice something, when you learn something, you experience something. When you practice, you experience something. It is that experience that gives you the outlook, or it gives you the the way you need to handle things, or the way what next, what is the next step, what is the next thing you have to do. So when you look at it, they use the word the ignorance, and when you look at that word ignorance there, like a lot of people just said, I have faith, I have belief in God, I believe in God, I know my God. Some persons will ask you a question: are you a believer, or you're a Christian or a Muslim? I don't like people telling me if I'm a Christian or a Muslim. Do I really trust and believe in my God? Like what she said, believe in your creator. Do you have a relationship with your creator? Now,
Yes.
when you have a relationship with your creator, it is easier for you to have faith in your creator, for your creator to connect to you. It said, draw near to me and I will answer you. It said, draw near to me and I will get closer to you. The word is the same. Near, draw near, and getting closer. They're the same word. But the emphasis there is, when you draw near to me, I will get closer to you. Now, what does it mean? It means you have a relationship with God. And in having a relationship with God, you need to understand God. Who is God? You need to have the knowledge of that same God. So when you want to talk about the faith you have, talking about your faith, you have the basic knowledge about faith. You have the knowledge, just like what Cyrus talked about, luck, and he said something. Luck is preparation with what? Preparation meet opportunity. Most cases, I look luck this way. Luck is show up. When you show up, when someone doesn't show up, there is no way you'll be able to win a lottery. Somebody cannot sit in his house and win a lottery. There must be something. He showed up. He was able to do something. He push. There's always something. So having the knowledge, the first thing when you have the knowledge, you connect to understanding. And when you connect to understanding over time, you gather momentum, you gather knowledge together, you acquire so much knowledge, it becomes wisdom. In your wisdom, you know how to handle things. But the fact is that because we are imperfect, God alone is the perfect being. Because we are imperfect, we make mistakes. So when we make mistakes, even with our knowledge and with our skills, expertise, and all that, what do? We look unto the heavens. Then we'll say, God, I have faith in you that this can work for me. It means we've gotten to the level where our capacity cannot do what we desire. But the fact is that you have to show up. You have to move. Cyrus symptom, you have to experience. You practice it. And use the word, you learn. You must practice it. When you practice with purpose, there's tendency with your faith, with your belief, you drive. You will always achieve what you desire in life. For me, I don't want to use the word I am a positive person or I'm a pragmatic person, but the fact is that I am positively oriented. I don't see I don't see negativity as something that will kill somebody, especially in where we are right now, in our part of the world, particularly in Africa. Like somebody told me recently, he said, "You guys talk about Africa. He said, some of you visited some of the Caribbean island. I mean, some of the Caribbean countries. You complain of your economy. Have you visited some of the Caribbean countries that they don't have what you people have? Do you believe that there are some places? What about, I don't want to use the word, is it the North Korea also, where people are not free to do what they want to do? So the fact is that anywhere you are, first thing is to understand the environment, trust your environment, understand your environment, do what you desire. That thing you desire, have the understanding that this can work for me and stand on what you want it to work for you. Who said there are no challenges? Who said there are no temptations? Who said there are not going to be negativity all around you? But negativity will stay too long with you when you start thinking, when you start seeing it. Just like I was telling someone recently, he wanted to do something. He was saying, hey, time is going, no, time is going. I have less than 2 weeks. I have less than two. I asked him a question. As the time come that the thing did not work, or as the time come that you did not see anything, he said no. So why are you scared? What's his name? That's what he was talking about. Ignorance. So I just believe that in everything I do, at times things are difficult. There are times you will sit down, you want to put things together, and it's not working the way you desire it. Sometimes you just look at it and just put the project aside, or just put that thing aside. If sometimes financial difficulties, you just put it aside and start thinking, God, how do I make this things work? Because you acknowledge God, how do I make this things work? As long as you have the knowledge, you believe that there's a God somewhere. There's a God in heaven that will do this for me. What do? When you reconnect over time, you connect. It may not happen just like magic, but when you reconnect, when you connect, because most times, like from what James Allen wrote there, he talk about subconsciousness. If your subconsciousness cannot connect to your consciousness, don't expect to get the outcome you desire. So your subconsciousness first, then your consciousness. So what you think deepest is what someone will see outside or the outer part. So it has to connect. There must be alignment. If there's misalignment, there's a problem. There must be alignment. It is the alignment that will push you to where you desire. Nothing good comes easy. But the fact is that since nothing good comes easy, the way you give birth to a child, the child will grow up over time to become an adult. And over time, it will get to one stage in his life or her life. It will look like a baby. It means he's close to the grave and come back to the grave. See, that is the process. So do you understand the process in life? If you understand the process in life, who do you depend on? Or what do you depend on? If you understand that, how do you move in your life journey? Who are the people you are supposed to connect with? If you don't have the people, like my dad used to tell me when he was alive, he said, if you don't have any good friend, make God your friend. He would never disappoint you. Men will disappoint you, but make God your friend. He's the only one that can connect to people that can connect to you. So it's the way you understand it, the knowledge you have, you start improving, you start learning so many things, like what Annie said. Lifelong learners are the innovators, are the transformer, are the people we have today that make things work. I ask question every day. What about the atheists? Or what do you call them? Atheists that don't believe, that just say that don't believe in their God, but they believe in principles. In principles, there is always the power of faith in principles. They believe this is how it works, and they have faith in that thing they do, and it works for them. So what does it mean most cases? It has to do with you aligning yourself to the universe. How you receive the universe, how also the universe receive you. So whatever thing you speak to the universe is what the universe will give to you. So that's just my take anyway. Any, thank you.
It's a deep one, and it's, it's close to my understanding, my friend. It's a it's a learning for, it's learning for me, learning for all of us. So Queen Leah, I see what you say. You love Bob Proctor, so so do I. I mean, mindsets. I guess I'm sure those who are in the know, those who are here, I'm sure mine. There's different schools of mindset, right? So Bob Proctor Gallagher Institute is the one that I've learned from the most. So we love Bob Proctor. So I think it speaks truth. It's a blessing, right? Now, Josh, I hear you. Josh says, I believe in anyone who believes in themselves, anybody. And you have to believe in yourself first of all, right? But again, I think we have to learn who we are, and then learn how to develop ourselves to be the person that we want to be. It can be done. We can always know. We can always know we can be who we want to be tomorrow, even if we lived a life of failing, a life of not doing. If we really understand ourselves and almost our triggers, our habits, our way of thinking, as Dr. Leslie was just saying, our understanding of the world, and our spirit, our belief in spirituality, all of that all comes together to create who we are, and how to be that person that's going to do your bold idea. That's the point, right? It's learning for me, Dr. Leslie. It's learning for me. Josh says, I get you. I get your point, Josh. No one can. We can't sit around waiting for miracles to happen every day, all day. We must take action. We must do something. The question then becomes, what's that thing? As Dr. Leslie said, it starts with developing knowledge, which then becomes wisdom, right? Many different ways to do that. And that's the main point today. Of course, I see your point about luck. Isn't it funny how almost no one who's successful got there by luck? How many lottery winners have created something genius, my friends? Like none, none, zero, right? Luck is not the luck is is like I said, it's preparation meets the opportunity. Dr. Leslie reference that as well. Luck is about being ready and being prepared and doing the work to learn, to be ready. Preparation, and when the chance comes, our bold idea comes along, we'll actually deliver and achieve it. It's an interesting one. So I should go away and learn something. Just says you learn in the light, you perish in the dark. Eventually, when you think you are winning, in the dark, the truth is debatable, but not negotiable. Oh, that's profound, right? It is the things we do when no one's watching. That's where our success comes from. That's where there's people. For most people, your bold idea, they think you achieved it overnight. Little do they know, everyone here, we've been working on our bold idea for years, at the very least for months, to get this far. It's the work we do when it's in the dark, when no one's looking, and sometimes that work is, like I say, in our souls. How we talk to ourselves, who we think we are, who we believe we are, what we believe we are, and what we believe we're here for. What's our destiny? What's our gift? What's our purpose? Definitely this topic is such a huge one. Thank you so much for entertaining me, my friend. Selena, please, I would love to know, you're last on stage. I'd love to know your thoughts. And then Dr. Leslie, I'll come to you for your parting words today, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, that was powerful, Leslie. Thank you for sharing. That was really good. Yeah, I mean, faith without action is dead. I agree with you 100%. Because sometimes we can only wish, they say wishful thinking. It doesn't help. So I wish, I had been to my grandson's birthday today, but because I was tired. I knew if I go, I wouldn't be a person to, to play with him. So I thought, I better look after myself. But I could have gone there. It's something which I really wanted to do. I had faith faith in my car, but I didn't want to go because I didn't want to disappoint him. This was that's typical for me to go, yes, but then I will sit there and fall asleep. It wasn't work. So sometimes it's like, okay, you think, okay, does it help if I go? Am I going to be of any use? If I'm going to do A, B, C, D marketing, how many people am I assuming I'm going to get? How am I going to? I've got faith in Facebook ads, but which group? Okay, the over 50s. I believe the over 50s need what I'm giving. And maybe out with what, but it's such like something which really is powerful to have faith and understand that it's not something pushing, it's something I know it's just happening.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, say, so I'm fascinated that you mentioned Facebook ads. Really. So now I'm doing those for one of my clients, one of my fashion brand clients, right now. I think it's a good example of the point, Selena. We can't just have that faith and just do. So I mean, we've got nearly 1,000 clicks so far. I'm paying for these clicks. I'm paying for PPC is what pay per click is what it is. I'm paying good money every day. I'm looking at them saying, right, my friend, we need to make some changes to your website. I think I've proved the numbers have proved that the website is a problem. If they're clicking, go to the website, not buying. What are you going to do? So it hasn't struck him that you actually got to do some work more. And I think if people know this is our reality, we have to learn. We have to do the work. And sometimes we'll learn as we go. Sometimes we can learn beforehand. But ultimately, though, I think definitely put down about your grandson's birthday, Selena. It's a choice we make, right? We make the choice whether we're going to do it or not, whether we're going to put ourselves in that situation to achieve our bold idea or not. And so the choice is best made, in wisdom, in knowledge of who we are. How are we? Of course, thankfully, you are self-aware. You know who you are, and you know what your energy levels are, and you know when you're not at the top of it. You know when you want to be social, when you don't want to be social. That's part of the learning we have to do. So, well done, you. Thank you. Do a Zoom call with your grandson. I'm sure. Same thing, right? As long as he can see you, he can enjoy the fun.
Yeah,
Dr. Go, sorry. Please carry on.
I said I'll go when the sister is there. She was at school, so I'll go when I feel I'm going to be, of joy to him, and I will enjoy it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, look, like I say, maybe it's a lesson that there's no right or wrong. Like I said right at the beginning, there's no right or wrong in any of this. It is, it's understanding and then choices we make. That's what it comes down to, right? Dr. Leslie, please share with us. What's your final message today, my friend?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I really love what Selena is doing. When she just mentioned that Facebook ads. Ooh, wonderful. It's really, really wonderful. Like what then he said, PPC, pay per click is tough. You pay, you pay. Okay. I think I like her faith and also her belief. But sometimes, Selena, even despite the fact you have to follow your 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 campaigns on Facebook and all that, expecting maybe the 50s or so to buy sometimes. They don't buy from you. You see the 20, 30, we go to buy from you because you sure, because you tried, because you believe, and you have that faith that that will work for you. As long as you put the work and the knowledge, it will always work for you. That's how it works. It will always work for you. And I think for me, I just have this belief that things work, nothing work for nothing. And anything you see today that is very successful, someone must have worked for it. If it is not this generation, maybe the past generation, maybe the person's past generations or the previous generation has worked hard to make sure they get to where they are, or the person worked so time to get to where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just had this belief that work hard, not just work
Wait.
hard with purpose, with purpose. Because when you work hard, sometimes you don't have a purpose. You don't even know why you are working harder. So you need to work hard with purpose and trust, because I believe in what we call intuition. Most cases, when I want to do certain things, I always want that thing in me to come out to tell me how this will work for me. And it has been working for me. Why sometimes, because of the word discipline, even when you don't want to do it, you just have to put yourself to it and see what will come out of it.
Mm.
So I put myself there and see how this can work for me. And most cases, it has been working for me. I do tell people sometimes, I'm a father of procrastination. I procrastinate a lot. Ah, ah,
Father.
just like what Bob Proctor talked about. Disease. This, this is, I mean, what did he say? This is disease. Procrastination is a disease for me. I
Disease.
work it, yeah, disease. I use many years to work on it. And why is it always like that? Procrastination. Either you don't have a purpose for doing something or you are lazy about it.
Yeah.
It will make you don't have a purpose for it, or you are lazy about, you are not clear which is purpose to. So these are the things I've been able to work over time. And like what Annie used the word, like that word there, the word faith, the word faith. Hmm. Some of us, the reason why we can talk today, I know some people don't like people using the words, but some of us, the reason why we can talk today, it is the grace of God. It is the belief in God. Because the knowledge acquired, it is not because of the four corners of the university or the tertiary institution or the schools we attended that has brought us this far. We were able to work harder with so many materials and all that. Now the question is this. That is why we must be thanking God in all situations every day. This is it. So many persons have been able to invest their time in knowledge, but they are not able to assimilate. It is not because I Selena or any or Cyrus or everyone on this platform, not because we are better than them. Some people wants to assimilate, but they don't have, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what is making them not assimilate over time. Some have invested their time in it and it's not working for them. So the fact is this, my faith has to do with my belief system and who I trust, the person I trust, and the supreme being I trust in everything I do has been able to push me that far, this far. Doesn't mean I'm the best, or doesn't mean I have the whole knowledge, or doesn't mean that I'm the most beautiful, or the most handsome, or the most whatever I want to call it, or the outspoken. No, no, no. It is just him. Put the little you can, like a word, like one of the high life or juju artists in Nigeria, Obeniza Obe. He say, do your best and leave the rest. Who are you leaving the rest for? Leave the rest for God. Just do the little you can. Put to practice, do all you can. Acquire the knowledge, experience the new parts, the new things you
Mustard
discover.
seed, Leslie, mustard seed.
It's falling off to say the wrong time. I hear you. So it's wisdom. So I've learned a lot today from. Thank you, my friends in the audience. Thank you, my friends who joined the stage. And I said, I wanted to talk about the gold mine, right? We didn't need to meet. I'm still waiting for a date.
Yeah,
That's,
okay.
that's a proposal. Yeah. Josh, again, I say, and thank you so much for being a genius today, my friend. You're a genius every day, but thank you now for truly gracing our event today. So you truly succeed in the light and perish in the darkness. You can do a lot in the darkness, but eventually, someday, you most likely, if you escape the Joker in the dark, the Joker of the dark needs to serve the light. The truth is always debatable, but never negatable either. Isn't that the truth, right? Now, again, I think that just tells me, the need to learn. Whether, that's what we're talking about, we can do and then leave the rest for that. Yes, you can leave the rest for the divine, whatever your divine is, right? But I think, we need to understand that sometimes that the divine will show us how to do it better. And the divine's not going to pick up the pen and write your book. You actually, but the divine will show us how to do the right thing, and then our mission, our bold idea, will become a reality. So now, thank you so much, everyone. Dr. Leslie, I don't know whether you fell off at the wrong time. Have you finished, Dr. Leslie?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
So now, thank you, everyone that's joined
Uh,
us. If you're watching on a replay, now please like and engage with the video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. The link is in the comments. If you got a YouTube channel, please share it. So I'll happily engage
I'll
with the video.
comment. I'll comment on a condition. You
What's that?
send me Bob Practice
No, for
video.
sure, for sure. So I'll happily share that with you. It's there, right? It's a file, so I'll definitely send that to you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Queen
Okay,
Leah, for
bye.
gracing us with your
Thank you
time.
so
Thank you,
much. Thank you so
thank
much.
you,
Thank you.
thank you,
Bye bye.
Selena.
Bye.
You're a star. Look, I
yeah,
say,
but
say the greatest thing in Bob Proctor's video, that's what I love the most, which I will leave you with today, is this, my friends. Of course, join us again in 2 weeks' time, right? And I would say it's the bit where he says, faith is the ability to see the invisible.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Believing in things hoped for as if they are
yeah,
real. Yep.
I agree. I say they have to be willing to see the invisible. That will permit us to receive what the masses call the impossible, right? There's something
Yeah.
missing in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
the ability to see the invisible, believing in the incredible, and that permits us to
mm,
receive what the masses call the impossible.
Yeah.
That is
wow,
genius, right?
I love
Thank you,
that. That's
everyone.
genius.
Not truly. Look, you take
Yeah.
care, everyone. Do connect
Yes.
and let's keep talking, right?
Okay.
So,
All
Cheers.
right.
Josh,
Okay.
Bye
you're the
bye.
best, Josh. Thank you, Josh. You're a star. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. Say bye for now. Bye, 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 bye.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with Global.Media.